I can't tell if it's just bright now. 10 minutes. I feel like this side of my face is not lit. Yeah. But then I'm going to darken it a bit because I feel like it's going to blind me. Don't do it without me. I beg you, Lord, don't do it without me. Hey guys, Zoe here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Siobhän Zoe. If it's your first time clicking on my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm a content creator. I'm a child of God. I'm someone who's just sharing my journey and my struggles with you on the internet. I don't know why, but we're here now, okay? Today's video, we're talking about grief. Yo! And good grief. Good grief. Is there such a thing as good grief? Anyway, today is 4 years since my mother passed away. And I wanted to do a video that really reflects the journey. Because I think the first year, I was not coping. Second year, not coping. Third year, almost drove my car into a lake. Fourth year, I feel like I am in a different place. It's just numbness. Which is not bad because numbness means I don't have to feel anything. But I just wanted to do a video kind of explaining my thought process and where I'm at. Because I think for grief is such a weird thing. When you lose a parent, a loved one, a child, you all have different experiences. We all have different experiences. Your life pauses that day. For other people, they move on. Like right now, the birds are chirping, kids are playing basketball outside. People are moving on. People are at work, people are at school, people are at home, whatever they're doing. But for me, it's a day when I just pause and nothing happens. Like it's as though life is just passing me by today. Time has just moved. I've got no feelings today at all. And I still struggle to go to my mom's gravesite because it's like reality hits. I like being delusional. I like believing that she's walking down the stairs when I go visit my parents' house. I like seeing her car and telling her, you go in the shops? You know? Like I'm at that point where I still haven't. If I ponder on it, it becomes real. And real is not fun to live in. Reality is that my mother passed away 4 years ago. Delulu says, just pretend like it didn't happen. And I think for a lot of Christians, I've noticed, and I love us, but my God, grief is not something we cope well with. Oh, you're going to see them again soon. But today, not today, she's not here. So when people say stuff like, and I know people have good intentions, but it's so misplaced that sometimes you just wish people would be quiet. I remember someone saying, one brother said to me, oh, you'll get over it soon. It's been 4 years. Soon has not come. Time doesn't heal grief. You just have to go through the processes. You have to go through the pain. You have to go through the emotions. It's the few stages of grief that you have to go through: denial, anger, whatever other ones they are. I forget, because right now they are all just, you don't go through them in order. Right now I'm in numbness, so I don't even know what that is. First year I was kind of in anger. Second year I think I was in denial. And denial was fun. Denial was good. So actually, let me Google the 7 stages. I think it's 7 stages. Let me Google so I'm not just here chatting. This is going to be so random, but I actually did a course on grief. I don't know why. But there's actually 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I want you to know, I don't know where I'm at in this thing, but I feel like I'm in denial. I've been in denial for through two years. Anger for the first 2. No, I lie. I'm in depression. I forgot I did not see D. I saw denial. Denial, I went through depression. I went through anger. Bargaining, I don't know what bargaining is. I'm not going to go through that yet. Acceptance will be when Jesus comes, because a lot of Christians say stuff like, you'll get over it soon. I've heard people literally say to me, I remember my mother passed away and I buried her on a Friday. Sunday I went to church. I didn't go to church necessarily to go to God. I went to church so that I don't take my life when I'm home by myself. And one pastor said to me, how was your weekend? I honestly was like, touch grass. Like, some of you really need to, as Christians, I think sometimes we live so much in the word that we forget we are still functioning in the world. That you need to go outside, put your toes and your hands on grass and touch grass. Because it's like, you just say the most, yeah, it just sounds so generic. And like, because I only used to associate with Christians at that time, pastors and such, I remember pastor saying to me, when my mother passed away, I'll come to you. Come to me for what? I'm struggling. I almost took my life last year. on this day. And it's weird not feeling that feeling today. Instead, it's like numbness. So I don't know, am I in depression? Am I in depression? Am I in depression? Am I in denial? No, I'm in depression. Because it's like, I don't want to think about it, but I also want to document the journey so that if you've lost a parent, because I know a lot of people who've lost a lot of loved ones. I know a lot of my former friends, my former church mates, former colleagues. I know some people that have just lost a lot of people. And sometimes when you're surrounded by Christians, as much as we mean well, the intent is there, but the delivery is always wrong. It's like you don't know how to minister faith in time of grief where the person can feel that you're empathetic. Instead, it's like you have faith, you should just be strong. Okay, you would let your parents pass away and tell me how strong you are in your faith. You go through these. The Bible says to mourn with those who are mourning for a reason. Jesus wept for a reason because God was trying to teach us that he's touched with the feelings of our infirmities. He's touched with our feelings, our emotions. When we are sick, God is looking at us like, my daughter, I want you well. When you're crying, God is like, I'm bottling your tears. The God that we serve is very compassionate and empathetic. He understands. Not sympathetic. I don't think God's sympathetic because I think that sympathy doesn't have a solution. But I think empathy really wants to comfort you. And I believe that if God is close to the brokenhearted, he's empathetic. But I might be wrong. But just hear me out. I feel like a lot of Christians lack empathy. And I went through this phase of just being angry at so many Christians around me because I was being prophesied to. God has shown me a vision. Your mother's going to be well. When I saw that casket low, I said, how many of you? So I struggle to associate with a lot of the people that I used to know because like a lot of them gave me this false hope. And I know it sounds crazy because like I'm Christian too, but it's like you disassociate from God when you grieve. Let me not say we. I disassociated from God when I was grieving because I just kept asking God why. And like sometimes it's not the why, it's not the why. Wait, you're asking the wrong why, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I was asking God why did it happen versus what am I supposed to learn in this? Why am I going through this in this way for this purpose? There has to be a purpose for everything, God. So to me, I feel like I've learned a lot about myself in this 4 years. I have really changed a lot and I've gone backwards and forwards and sideways and but one of the things that I've learned is compassion. I think let me not say I think, I know before my mother passed away, I was not the nicest person. And like my hairstylist, y'all know, I know you see it. Me and her have therapy sessions, and she just mentioned because we went to the same high school, no, went to the same college, sorry, and we had the same mutual friends. So I was just talking to her about an incident that I had where someone said I was mean to them like 10 years ago, or even longer. And she's like, no, you definitely said that. And I don't remember saying it because to me, I think going through grief has taught me how being nice and kind to people goes a long way. But the flip side is that it's also taught me to be selfish because I no longer wait for someone to message me. Like my phone, let me check. Let me not say it now. It's 3:46. I've been waiting for friends to message me. I've had one friend message me, one colleague message me, and one, I don't know what his man's in my DMs for, but one. Let's just say that, okay? So 3 people, right? I have, let me try. Can you count your contacts? How many contacts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 54. Let's just say in my 54 contacts, 3 people have messaged me. Right? So one of them is my family member, so it doesn't count. It's like to my family, our lives pause on this day, but to other people's another day. And I've had to really be selfish with that and realize it's your grief, it's personal. Some people may have known my mom, some people may not have. The people that know her, their lives continue. I've seen some of her friends, they have not moved and given up their lives. They're continuing living. So I've had to really be okay with understanding that other people exist beyond my grief. So I just want to kind of do a video to explain where I'm at, but also just to give you guys some tips and some, please, if someone is grieving, they don't want to reach out to you. saying stuff like, which is sweet, it sounds nice, saying stuff like, reach out if you need, or if you need anything, let me know. If I'm in pain, if say, grief is a heartfelt pain. So it's like saying someone who's got their hands bandaged should reach out to you. You wouldn't expect someone who has broken both arms to reach out to you. You'd be like, I will cook for you, I will clean for you. I remember having former church mates mow the lawn. I was sleeping. Mind you, I was at home. I just pretend like I wasn't because I didn't want to see anyone. But I heard them mowing the lawn. It was little things like that that they didn't have to announce to anybody, but it made such a difference. Cooking and bringing food to someone who's grieving makes a world of a difference because I'm not going to think about food, especially in the early stages of grief. I think that sometimes people get this like they expect people to be quite numb because they're numb in situations that are sad or hurtful. They tend to shut down, or they expect people to be like robotic, but it's a process. That person just needs you to be there. Sometimes not saying anything helps a lot more. Hugs, if that person's affectionate. And I think saying the wrong thing is worse because you put the onus on this person to somehow get over it quickly because you're uncomfortable with their emotions. So you're saying stuff like, oh, just be strong. No, cry. Like I always tell people, cry. Every one of us will lose a parent or a child or a brother or a cousin. Everyone will experience loss at some point in your life. It's better for me. I always tell people this: reach out to people when they're grieving, because when you are at a loss, I'll come to the funeral and be like, "More power to you," because I won't be there. Like mentally, I'll be checked out because to me, that same compassion. I know I told you I'm selfish nowadays. I would want that same compassion when I was grieving, but I found a lot of people just become so self-absorbed, like they're uncomfortable with the emotions, so they don't want you to express your feelings. But you're sad. Let people cry. And if you're uncomfortable, just sit with that. Because when you need to cry, that person will be a shoulder to cry on. And if they're not, you will find someone. God will bring the right people. But I think as Christians, the message of faith sometimes we forget the message of love because we're too focused. Oh, wait, did someone message me? 4 people messaged me. I knew he would message me. One of my closest friends will always message me on this day. Because last year I was calling him saying, there's a lake right now and I want to open my windows and it's really hard for me to get over losing a parent when I was the closest to that particular person in my whole life. And I love my family. My family and I are very close. But that was the one person that was my rock. So I'm never going to be okay. And expecting people to be okay after losing someone they're close to is crazy. Your body changes, your heart changes, your mind changes, your physical, you feel it in the physical, you feel it in your mind, you feel it in like my heart feels it. Like I physically felt my heart break. And then Pastor Dada shared a message and she was sharing a message, but God knows I cannot tell you what that message was about at church. All I remember was looking in her eyes and feeling like as though God was just like sewing my heart back together. I physically felt my heart break when I lost my mom. A part of me died when I lost my mom. And people want to bring you back to the person you were before. You will not be the same. There's a part of me that will never come back. And I'm okay with that. I've accepted that she died too. But it's like, I want people to understand that being there doesn't always mean knowing the right things to say. Sometimes silence speaks volumes. Cleaning someone's house when they're grieving, I don't know, cooking for them. That's one thing I didn't want to do is eat. I didn't have the energy to be at a stove. So being there, guys, does not necessarily always mean you knowing the right things to say. Preaching a message of faith when someone's grieving doesn't always mean much. They're not going to hear you. Especially me. I did not hear anyone talk about God during that period because I was hurt. So I was hurt by the same God you're preaching about. Even though I knew God myself, I was like, this God that you're saying, let my mother pass away. And that was my feeling. And people want to make you feel guilty for being angry at God, but I believe I looked at Lamentations. The whole book of lamenting is to be lamenting. I wanted to lament to God. I looked at how David talked to God. I looked at how Elijah talked to God. It was like, God, I want to die. I want to take my life. I'm depressed. I'm sad. And I think when you accept that not everything in faith comes with fluff, it's not fluffy and rose colored. It can be very painful. You're coming to God. If you look at how Jesus was crucified, Jesus was not crucified with that napkin that was wrapped around him. I don't know what depiction that is. He was crucified nude, like completely naked, and beaten to be unrecognizable. There is pain sometimes in purpose. And sometimes as Christians, we want to preach this message. Let me tell you what I read today, and that changed my life. We want to preach a message of the testimony of the test. And we say it like, the test is you will struggle to get a job and God will give you $1 million job. The test comes through these things that nobody else is there, and it's just you and God, and you're crying and saying, God, I want to take my life. There's no one I can reach out to in this moment. Help me. When God is your only source of help, you will look unto the hills, I tell you. So there's this quote I saw today, right, at 9:40, and it said, pain is the classroom of maturity. Sometimes as Christians, we want to preach this message that faith, strong faith, the weak faith, is not a lack of faith. It's still faith in itself. You still have faith in God. But weak faith means that when you are weak, God is your strength. Because sometimes, guys, I'll be honest, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to shower. I was not looking after my hygiene. I did not want to wash no dish. I did not want to wash no clothes. Being weak means that at some point you will feel this inner strength and you'll think, how am I getting out of bed? It's God pulling you out of bed and pulling you closer to Him. And I wish people would stop telling people it's a lack of faith when someone is sad. It's not a lack of faith. The Bible says to mourn with those who are mourning. If someone is mourning, you need to mourn with them. Be there, be present. I've seen people flip so quickly from, I understand it's so hard, to throwing darts and using my grief as a weapon. And I was like, this is why empathy is it's a lacking quality in a lot of Christians that I've uncovered. And I'm sharing this as someone who is still grieving, but wanting us to do better as people of God. So that when someone is losing someone or has lost someone, you're not just preaching a message of faith without preaching a message in love. And preaching a message of faith doesn't mean God is with you and you should not cry and you know you're going to see them one day. Preaching a message of faith can be, I'm praying for you. May God comfort you and your family. Doesn't have to be long, guys. Empathy does not mean a lot of words. You just have to be touched by that person's circumstance in a way that you would be like, if I was in the circumstance, how would I want someone to treat me? And a lot of people have reached out to me in the last few years and said, I'd never been to a funeral, but now I know what it feels like. And I was like, it's a little too late for me, but I'm happy you went through it, because now when someone else is crying, you will be compassionate. When someone else is at that, especially at the graveside when they're lowering the casket, it does something to you. I physically was like I was talking to myself and I was like, yeah, part of me has died. I'm not the same anymore. I struggle to go to that. One of the things I would love is for someone to take me to my mom's graveside, because driving there, I will U-turn every time, because it's so final seeing the tombstone. I have a photo of it on my phone and I still never look at it because it's so tangible, whereas denial is so much more peaceful to me. So I basically just wanted to share that. I know it's not the most fun video and I don't want to attack us as Christians, but I just want us to do better. As someone who has seen a lot of my former church mates or, people that I was associated with losing people, and some of my close friends have lost a lot of people, I just wish we could do better when we preach a message. So I hope this video really helps you. Please reach out to someone if they're grieving. And on those significant days, birthdays, Christmas, and the day that they passed, reach out. Because those days you may also end up burying someone you love. If you don't reach out, the strong friends, the ones who laugh and giggle, those are the ones you got to be careful of and reach out to. So I hope this video really touches the right people and helps you all to do better and to say better, because grief is really, it's hard. So I'm not going to cry. I have not cried today, which I'm very proud of myself, because normally I'm a mess. But I just feel, I don't even know if it's peace or numbness. But I know that God's with me in this day, because who John. So yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you got to the end of this video, thank you. I hope this video helps you in some way. I don't know how it's going to help you, but you know what I'm trying to say. I will see you in another video. Please take care of yourselves. Is it starting to rain?